Okay, in question number 10 here, we're given a few different molecules and asked which ones must violate the octet rule. That's a little bit of a weird thing to talk about, just because it seems like we're always struggling to make them meet the octet rule. But we'll run into a couple of scenarios here where we can't help it. We have to violate the octet rule, but there's no way around it. And we'll see real fast here when that happens. So for nitrogen, we have 5 valence electrons. For oxygen, we have 6, and that's a total of 11 valence electrons. It ends up we can either have a Lewis structure that looks like this, and oxygen is happy, but nitrogen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or flip that around and make nitrogen happy and make oxygen unhappy. So the nitrogen has 8, the oxygen has 7. No matter how we try to assign the electrons, one or the other atom is left unhappy. And so NO is an example of a molecule where we just cannot satisfy the octet rule. It's a mathematical impossibility because we have an odd number of valence electrons. All right, now look at CBr4. This has a total of 32 valence electrons. I used up 8, which leaves me with 24 valence electrons. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And all those atoms are happy. Carbon sees 8, all the bromine see 8. And so, whereas this first one was no octet possible, this one definitely we easily can get an octet. Now SF4, that is 28 plus 6, that's 34 valence electrons. Used up 8, leaving me with 26. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And those last 2 then get dropped on the sulfur. This, in order for the molecule to be stuck together, has to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 electrons around it, because we have to bond the fluorines, plus we have to put these 2 extra electrons somewhere. So this has 10 electrons on the sulfur, and so no to the octet rule. And then finally this IBr maybe looks weird, but actually it's not as weird as it looks. I have 14 valence electrons. I use 2 to tie it together. Leaves me with 12, and I go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and actually this is also an octet molecule. A little bit of a strange one, but it has an octet.